Hi and welcome. I'm John and this is Unique Wargaming. Guys, welcome back. For everyone that's new, this is a special type of video today. It's a painting video, but I'm going to be focusing on wings. Yeah, so I do have things like Drukhari Scourges and, there are other demon things that have wings on them. But I want to try and do a couple of different techniques on the wings, namely the feathered wings, and just share that with you guys today. So for all my regulars here, guys, I feel love, thank you very much. I'll see you in a minute. Right, so this video is just to focus on wings, okay? But the thing is, these are just tokens that follow the sisters around, little cherubs. Some of the sister models, like the Triumph and St. Catherine and some of the tanks, have cherubs hanging off of them. So if I could mess around on these test models and get the way that I want, make it look fantastic, then when it comes to the bigger centerpiece models, it's going to look great. Not only that, as I said at the beginning, you've got Scourges, but some of them have feather wings. There's some demons that have feather wings, which actually, helps with all that. Or if you play fantasy and you have things that have wings, feathered wings, again, it's great. But also, with that said, I'm going to give the body a once over, because it's all well and good doing amazing wings, but then if the body doesn't look, doesn't pop off, make the wings pop off, it's this, you lost half the effort that you've done. So I'm going to start with the body first to do some Bugman's Glow. It's very, very straightforward. And I'll water it down so it's like really, really watery. There's not much body on them. The only thing is, I don't know if they're wearing clothes. I see shackles on his wrist there. So let's start there at that point, I think. His hands. His little feet. I don't think he's wearing any clothes. He might have like a little loincloth at the front of him, I'm not sure, but anyway. Right, so very straightforward. Also, if you've got a model like this, okay, you can experiment with wings, not wings, sorry, skin as well. Try different, techniques with different skin colors, because it's a token. So it accompanies the unit when the unit does a certain ability or does a certain thing. It gets taken away. They can recycle it. It gets taken away. For the sisters, when they use a miracle dice, they can get rid of this and generate another miracle dice. So what I'm going to do now, I don't need to do none of this, okay, because this is the only parts that we're interested in, the wings in there. So I'm going to come in with some Screaming Skull. And what I'm going to do with this colour, I'm going to water it down again. It's really watery. And I'm going to paint the wings. Now there's a layer paint that will go on bright, but dull itself down. So don't panic. I'm going to do it all around. I'm just going to do this one front side here. They are very, very springy on their point of contact. Right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to come with some white scars. Knocking him over and breaking him. I'm just going to brush it along the bottom half of the feathers, okay? So this is what we've got. Do the same on the front. Got the model, it's a little dude himself, but it doesn't matter. So I said, this is like a test model. Because you don't want to buy something like, you know, the Triumph St. Catherine or something like that, and then you're struggling to do the wings on the cherubs, and you know, you end up messing it up. So that you have a test model, you can actually just practice it first. So this is what we have now. Okay, very nice. I'll leave it to dry for a few minutes. So whilst that's drying, I'm going to come with some Cadian Flesh Tone. My regulars would have seen this, you know, so many times now. I've got a tiny little bit on the brush. And I'm just going to hit the raised area. Again, it's a layer paint, so it will go on bright but dull itself down. And if you're not happy with the way that the colour looks after a first pass, you can give it a second pass. I actually realised something, and I'll show you to it now with this model. When gluing it, obviously I'll glue it together and put it down. The wings have actually popped away from the body. That's why there's that little gap at the back there, so it looks a bit weird at the back. You know, look, like I said, it's a token. You're not going to notice that when it's on the table. So it's just, unfortunately, sometimes that happens. But I'm going to leave that to dry now. Right, so I apologise if you hear noise in the background. The kids are outside playing. So whilst I was waiting for that to dry, I just whacked a few more colours on there. Don't really need to go through that. It's, you know, it's not what this video is for. On this one, I'm going to come with some Polar Glacier contrast paint for the wings. This is a very weird colour because it comes up very, very light. What I want is to try and get it into the recesses, to stay dark in the recesses. Some of that white paint's not fully dry yet. Unfortunate. It's not the end of the world, because I could just blend it in a little bit. Same on this side. I think it's going to look good. As you can already see, it's looking tasty. But I think the other choice of colour I have for the other guy, I think it's going to look even better. What I'm doing now is just make sure it's shimming around so it's not pulling all together in one place. Yes, so whilst that's drying, we're going to come with the other little cherub, and I'm going to start with Euphane Grey. I'm going to do the same thing on the wings, but just Euphane Grey. This is another colour that I actually love. The wings are quick once over. This is a great colour to go on to use and then to go into white. if you're doing white robes or something like that. My regulars would have seen me do that many times. I'll do the rest of those wings. Right, again, I'm going to come in with some white scars without breaking the model. The thing with these guys, they're very, very flimsy. Well, not flimsy, but their point of contact is very, very small. It's just this little bit here. And I'm going to just work the white scars, same as I did as the first model. I think I watered this bit down a bit too much. So I'm going to leave that to dry now. The only thing I haven't done on this one is do the this colour, what is it? Cadian flesh tone on his skin. It's the only thing I haven't done with him. I need to do the red on his eye as well, his bionic eye. Now what I'm going to do with this model is come with some Druchii Violet. I think this one's going to pop off even more than the first one, but we shall see. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to work it all over the wings. Well, it's still a little bit wet as well, so it's actually nice. It's going to make it flow in a bit more nicely. So now I'm going to leave this one to dry, and then I'm going to go back to the first model. Right, so I was going to come in with some white scars and dry brush. Yeah, I don't think it needs it. I think it looks absolutely fantastic. Wet blending the contrast paint with the white scars was an accident, because I thought the white was dry and it wasn't. But I think it's actually turned out really amazing. Now the blue's a little bit wet still, but I think it looks fantastic. This guy's still soaking wet, but again, I thought this guy was going to look better, but I think the other guy looks actually better. I think this wings on this guy could be dry brushed. I don't think it needs it really. Really don't think it needs it. If anything, I think if this guy has anything, it should be something like Lothern blue mixed with a bit of white scars on the wet palette, and then give it a little dry brush just to get the tips, like tips along the middle there, tips along the edge here. But I don't think it needs it, to be honest. I think that's I think that works really well. Now, I'm not talking about doing the Screaming Skull or the Euphrates Grey, then doing the white, leaving it all to dry and doing the wash on top, or the contrast paint or the wash. I think doing the Screaming Skull or the Euphrates Grey, leaving that to dry, then putting the white scars along the edge, and whilst it's still wet, not fully dry but still a bit wet, then wet blending one of these two in. I think this one's turned out better, but wet blending one of these two in gives you an amazing effect. But I'm looking at this one here, and I can see white in the feathers. I can see, I don't know if you guys can see, let's bring up so you can see. See the white in the feathers there? Absolutely amazing. This is still my favourite one though, which is crazy because I've used that colour before and not had much of a, you know, good luck with it. Not come out very well to my liking, but that's actually worked out very nice. Anyway guys, there's two very easy ways to do wings. Very straightforward. A handful of colours. Let's show you the colours. What else do we use? Youth and Grey. So literally 5 colours. 3 of them are actually layer paints. 1 shade, 1 contrast. But you can follow the same step with, you know, these 2 or these 2, yeah? And don't need to use one of these 2 colours, but you could go with something like this colour. Do the same thing. I was actually looking at this colour thinking, oh, should I go with this one? Give it a nice reddy look. But I might save that for the Drukhari. You know, or you could come in with something like Guilliman's Flesh, which is going to give you a really fleshy look. You know, actually no, saying that actually might be good on, again, the Drukhari, the Scourges, for the ones that have like the bat wings. Anyway guys, thanks for watching this video. I hope this has given you some ideas and helped you, inspired you with stuff. If you're new to the channel and seeing this for the first time, hit the subscribe button because it costs you absolutely nothing. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss anything. Everyone smash the thumbs up button so it triggers YouTube to share this video with more and more people, which makes this amazing community you guys grow even more. If you want to support the channel even further, there is a join button below. Click on that and become members of the channel. There are different tiers with different perks. I appreciate everyone that becomes a member of the channel. And I might sound a bit funny because I am still bunged up after, like, you know, 3 weeks of having this sort of flu, hay fever, whatever the hell it is. Anyway guys, comments below as always. Thanks for watching. Until next time, take it easy.